Buying food in bulk saves money, and for many families, it's economically necessary rather than optional. But bulk purchasing creates specific food safety risks that smaller purchases don't. Understanding these helps you maintain safety while capturing savings. The mathematics of contamination work against bulk purchases. When a food producer makes 1,000 individual cans versus 10 massive institutional size cans containing the same total volume, contamination probability per unit is higher with the large cans. One contamination incident during processing affects fewer consumers with small packages than with large ones. This is why you see bulk products, institutional cans, warehouse club packages, disproportionately represented in food recall data. Storage duration is another risk factor. A family might consume a normal-sized jar of peanut butter in 2 weeks. A bulk container might last 2 months. That's 2 months of storage time where anything can go wrong: temperature fluctuations, pest access, container degradation, cross-contamination in your pantry. Extended storage multiplies exposure to problems. Then there's the handling issue. Large containers require multiple openings and closings. Each opening introduces air, potentially contamination, and moisture. Products that are safe when sealed can become risky after repeated access. Large canned goods that you can't consume in one use require transferring to storage containers and refrigeration, creating handling contamination risks. Specific product categories have particular bulk-related concerns. Bulk rice and grains face pest infestation. Insects and their eggs are often present in small numbers. In a small package consumed quickly, you might never notice. In a 50-pound bag stored for months, you get population explosions. Large institutional cans of low-acid foods carry higher botulism risk if the canning process had any failures. A tiny process failure in a number 10 can expose you to far more contaminated product than the same failure in a regular can. Frozen bulk meats create temperature abuse vulnerabilities. When you bring home a 20-pound package of frozen chicken, you probably need to portion it. This requires thawing or partial thawing, handling at room temperature, repackaging, and refreezing. Every one of these steps is a contamination opportunity and a temperature abuse risk. How do you buy bulk safely? First, invest in proper storage infrastructure. Good quality, airtight containers for dry goods. Adequate freezer space for frozen bulk items. A pantry that's cool, dry, and pest-resistant. Bulk buying without proper storage defeats the cost savings and creates significant risk. Second, implement FIFO inventory rotation. First in, first out. When you buy new bulk items, move older stock to the front and place new purchases behind. This ensures you consume products in the order you bought them, preventing the accumulation of forgotten ancient packages in the back of your pantry. Third, learn safe repackaging techniques for bulk items. Clean, dry storage containers. Proper labeling with contents and date. For bulk meats, portion them while still mostly frozen, not fully thawed, minimizing time at dangerous temperatures. Use vacuum sealing if possible to prevent freezer burn and extend safe storage. Fourth, calculate true risk versus benefit. That bulk can of soup costs half as much per ounce as regular cans, which seems like obvious savings. But if there's higher contamination risk, if you can't consume it all before quality degrades, if you lack proper storage, the apparent savings might not be real. Sometimes buying smaller amounts more frequently is actually more economical when you factor in safety and waste. Know your consumption rates realistically. People often overestimate how quickly they'll use bulk purchases. That giant jar of mayonnaise seems economical until it sits in your refrigerator for 6 months, because you actually don't use mayonnaise that often. Expired, wasted food is expensive food regardless of the unit price. Bulk buying works well for shelf-stable items your household genuinely consumes regularly. Rice, beans, pasta, canned tomatoes, cooking oil, these are good bulk purchases if you have storage space and rotate stock properly. Bulk buying is riskier for perishables, refrigerated items, and things you don't eat often. The warehouse club model depends on consumers making these calculations poorly, buying more than they need, storing it improperly, and ending up with no real savings despite thinking they're being economical. Be smarter than that model assumes.